Beyond the gate, spoilers tease that Grayson is already standing in the middle of trouble before he even realizes how close it is closing in on him. Everything begins with something small, something that should have stayed quiet, almost invisible, but Ashley heard it. Not intentionally at first, more like a moment of accident, a door not fully closed, voices leaking through the hallway in pieces. Madison was speaking with Dr. Leah about Parkinson research, and the tone was serious, careful, like people who know the subject they are touching is fragile and dangerous at the same time. Ashley did not mean to listen, but she stayed, because one word became another, and then suddenly the conversation felt important. Madison talked about experimental progress. Not a cure yet, but possibilities. Maybe treatments that slow the disease down. Maybe hope for people who had already begun to lose control of their bodies. Leah did not sound emotional. She sounded controlled, calm. The type of calm that makes it hard to guess what someone really thinks. Ashley listened quietly, heart beating faster because one name in her mind would not stop echoing: Grayson's mother. Parkinson had already been stealing pieces of her life little by little, every week something gone that would never come back. So Ashley held that information inside her like something warm and fragile until she finally found Grayson later that day. She told him everything, though maybe not perfectly, words coming out a bit tangled because she was trying to explain both the science and the hope at the same time. Madison and Leah discussing research, possible trials in the future, nothing guaranteed, but not nothing either. Grayson listened at first with disbelief written all over his face. Hope was something he had trained himself not to trust. Too many doctors had spoken carefully around him before, promising nothing but offering just enough optimism to keep families waiting. But Ashley looked sincere. She always did, and the way she talked about the conversation made it feel real. Like maybe, just maybe, there was something new happening behind those hospital walls that could change everything for someone like his mother. Grayson's reaction was not calm. It was messy, emotional, sudden, gratitude mixed with relief and exhaustion. He looked at Ashley for a long moment and something shifted in his expression. Maybe he had been holding those feelings down for weeks, maybe months. Maybe both of them had been pretending not to see what was building between them. And then the distance disappeared without warning. They kissed. Not slowly, not carefully, just sudden, impulsive, two people who forgot where they were standing. It was the kind of moment that should have stayed private, but it happened in a place where people pass by, where walls have eyes even when they look empty. And someone did see them. Leah. She had not planned to witness anything romantic that day, but there she was, standing still for a second longer than necessary as she watched the scene unfold. The expression on her face did not explode into anger or surprise. Instead, it tightened in a way that was almost more dangerous, controlled irritation. The kind that does not need to shout to make a point. Ashley eventually stepped away first, a little embarrassed when she realized how public the moment had been. She said goodbye quickly, maybe sensing the shift in the atmosphere without fully understanding it. When she left, Grayson turned and immediately noticed Leah standing there. This silence between them lasted longer than comfortable. Then Leah spoke. Her words came sharp but measured. She criticized him for showing personal affection in a public workplace, pointing out that this kind of behavior was unprofessional, careless, something that could damage reputations. Her voice did not rise, but every sentence carried weight. Grayson responded quickly, trying to smooth the situation. He promised it would not happen again. He insisted the moment had simply gotten out of control. His tone, respectful, maybe even slightly defensive, like someone who knew he had crossed a line but did not want the mistake to grow bigger than it already was. Leah did not immediately accept the explanation. She stepped closer, eyes fixed on him with that same unreadable calm. Her warning came quietly, but it landed hard. It would be better, she said, if he made sure it never happened again. The way she said it felt heavier than a normal reminder from a superior to an employee. There was something underneath the words, something unsaid but very much present. Grayson seemed to understand it too, because his posture changed slightly, shoulders stiff, eyes shifting away for just a moment before he nodded again. Anyone watching from a distance might think it was simply a workplace reprimand, nothing unusual. But the tone between them did not quite fit that explanation. Their conversation carried hints of familiarity that went deeper than hierarchy, almost like they shared knowledge that other people did not have access to. Something hidden, something that connected them in ways the hospital staff could not see. And that is where the speculation begins to grow darker. Because there has always been talk about Plasma King, an underground organization that moves in shadows, manipulating plasma supplies, controlling illegal blood distribution networks that stretch across several cities. The kind of operation that requires insiders, people with access to medical systems, people who understand how to move information quietly without triggering alarms. Grayson fits that description. His position gives him access to records, health reports, logistics systems connected to plasma storage and hospital transfers. He knows how things move. He knows who checks the numbers and who does not. But Leah might fit even better. She has authority. She has intelligence connections, or at least rumors of them. Her decisions influence medical research and resource allocation. Someone like her could redirect plasma shipments without anyone questioning the paperwork. Which raises the uncomfortable possibility that their tense conversation was not only about a kiss in a hallway. It might have been about risk, exposure, the danger of letting personal relationships distract them from something far more secret. Maybe Leah was not just reminding him to behave professionally. Maybe she was reminding him that their real work required discipline, no emotional mistakes, no unnecessary attention. And Ashley might become that attention without even knowing it. Her involvement already started with the Parkinson conversation, something innocent. She simply wanted to bring hope to Grayson about his mother. But now she stands closer to him than before, emotionally connected, suddenly part of his personal life. If Grayson is involved in something secret, Ashley could become a weak point. Someone who asks questions, someone who notices patterns that others ignore. Leah probably understands that risk better than anyone. That is why the warning sounded colder than expected. The timing of Leah's return this week also raises questions. Her presence in the story has not been random. Each appearance seems to pull another thread loose from the larger mystery surrounding Plasma King, slowly revealing that the organization might not be as distant as people once believed. Members could already be working inside the system, inside hospitals, inside research teams. If Leah is indeed one of them, her interaction with Grayson takes on a completely different meaning. Not a boss correcting an employee, more like a partner reminding another partner that discipline is necessary. Secrets must remain secrets. Meanwhile, another storyline begins to tighten around them through Jacob. Jacob has been carrying out a covert mission connected to the same shadowy organization. His investigation has been quiet so far, almost invisible to the rest of the characters, but pieces are starting to align. Information about plasma shipments, unusual data inconsistencies, meetings happening at strange hours. If Jacob continues digging, he might eventually cross paths with Grayson and Leah without realizing how dangerous that discovery could be. And then there is Ashley, who stands in the middle without understanding the storm forming around her. Leah's warning might not only be about professionalism, it might be a reminder that Grayson cannot allow his relationship with Ashley to interfere with whatever operation they are involved in. Emotional connections create unpredictability. Unpredictability creates exposure. For someone like Leah, exposure is unacceptable. At the same time, another complication develops through Madison's work. Her focus has shifted strongly toward Parkinson research. She is investing time and energy into experimental studies, trying to find breakthroughs that could eventually change lives. Because of this shift, she has handed over Bill's health evaluations to Grayson. On the surface, it is a simple administrative decision. Madison is busy with research. Grayson is capable of handling routine examinations and reports. No reason to question it. But in a story filled with hidden motives, even simple decisions start to look suspicious. Bill's health results could become important. If someone wanted to manipulate medical data for personal gain, controlling those reports would be a powerful tool. A doctor could adjust numbers, delay diagnoses, hide conditions, even exaggerate illnesses if money or influence were involved. Which brings the uncomfortable question forward. Can Grayson be trusted? There is no clear answer yet. His emotional reaction to Ashley earlier made him look sincere, like someone genuinely struggling with family problems and personal feelings. But sincerity does not always mean innocence. People working inside secret organizations often learn to hide their real intentions behind ordinary human moments. If someone approached him with the right price or the right threat, would he change Bill's results? Would he alter the report quietly so that no one notices until it is too late? The possibility hangs in the air like a shadow that is not fully formed yet. And that uncertainty is exactly what makes the situation so tense. Grayson might simply be a man caught between love and responsibility, trying to protect his mother while navigating complicated professional pressures. Or he might be something else entirely. Someone whose loyalties are divided between the hospital, the mysterious Plasma King network, and his own survival. Ashley believes she saw the good side of him when he reacted to the Parkinson research news. She saw gratitude, vulnerability, relief. She saw a man who cares deeply about his family. But Leah saw the kiss and responded with something colder than jealousy and sharper than discipline. Her reaction suggested knowledge. Knowledge of a secret that has not been fully spoken yet. And if that secret begins to surface, while Jacob continues his covert investigation, while Madison pushes deeper into Parkinson research, while Bill's health reports quietly pass through Grayson's hands, then the calm surface of everything will not last much longer. Because secrets inside systems like this rarely stay buried forever. Sometimes all it takes is one overheard conversation, one impulsive kiss in a public hallway, one warning delivered in a quiet voice. After that, the cracks start spreading, slowly at first. Then suddenly, everything breaks open at once. And when that moment arrives, the truth about Grayson, Leah, and the shadow of Plasma King may finally come into the light, whether they are ready for it or not.